I really want to thank you that you have available time for us and to share with us all of your experiences as a generator, because we are population that is leading this world. And we would like to hear from you all of those beautiful experiences that you have been living. Maybe I can invite some of you girls to start with the questions, and I can also pop up and share the Micala's chart and add something to your questions. Anna, would you like to start?
Yes, please. Okay. Hello, Micala. I was just telling you before that I'm very excited that we finally have a generator because, like she said, most of us are generators. Mm-hmm. So my question too is, I'm a pure generator, and I would like you, from your point of view, from your experience, if you can explain it to me, how do you live on a daily basis as a generator? Do you go through life and ask yourself a question every time, if I'm going to drink this coffee, how do you live everyday situations? How do you use a human design as a generator to have a better quality of your life? If you can explain that in some way, I would be grateful.
Yeah, thank you. And I love that question, because I think I had the same one when I got started. It was like, how much responding do I need to wait for? So I'm thinking, I love the mundane things that we do, like drink the coffee in the morning, or do the washing up, or choose our breakfast, or, these are things that we're doing every single day. And what I found really helpful in the beginning was take for example, breakfast. I asked my husband to ask me, do you want an egg? And I would go, and surprise myself, because actually it turned out I wanted an egg for 3 months in a row. And while my head was telling me, you can't do that, but my body wanted an egg for 3 months in a row. Or so he would ask me yes, no questions, and that I found really helpful. About the coffee, so that obviously it's something to respond to, like you see the coffee tin or something, you see the coffee, and sometimes I can feel a pulling towards, and sometimes I can feel a pulling away without a like yes, no answer. I can still feel in my body if it's something that I want or something that's not for today. Now, I'm not saying that I always listen to it. I'm human. And so, sometimes many times my mind overrides my body's decision. Does that help you, Anna?
Yes, it does. So what are you trying to say, that you mainly listen to your sort of like your body sensations? Yes. That you would actually follow the feeling. Mm-hmm. So not necessarily that you would be asking a question. Do you ask those questions yourself? Like if you're on your own, would you ask yourself and see, should I be going to that store? Mm-hmm. Yes or no?
I think I would find my body taking me there. Mm-hmm. If I had the energy to go to the store. I think I would find my body up and moving out the door without my mind saying, okay, now it's time to go to the store. Mm-hmm. I did try asking myself the questions. And I don't know, it's an experiment. So I'm still kind of experimenting with that. I couldn't tell you if I have a fixed result or not. It's something to play with. Because you can work it backwards. You go, oh, I'm feeling satisfaction. Okay, what did I do, or what did I be to get to this this state of satisfaction? How did I respond? Mm-hmm. Or I'm feeling frustrated. What did I do? And then work back to see if you had asked yourself a question, or if it was something that you had responded to, and just let your body guide you. Does that help? Because I know in the beginning it's kind of odd.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing because, you know, you kind of have to follow your, you know, your sacral that it's telling you what to do, but you not quite sure all the time, how can I listen to it? You know, if it's going to be a body sensation, I'm not sure that I can always count on that that's the right answer. So, but thank you. Thanks.
No, you're welcome. And I like that you've picked up on the body sensation, because perhaps your sacral has a different sensation to mine or to Jelena or to the other generators in this room. Perhaps yours is different. Mine is like a zinging, like there's a movement. Definitely there's a movement. And there's like a hum, a zing, like something can feel almost electric, you know, that, oh, yes, you know, that I want to move towards something. But perhaps for you, it's something else, you know. And a really nice thing to experiment is what is my body sensation? Like, for example, the no, the for me, it feels like contraction in my body, and it can feel like a heaviness, like no energy for that. Now, I don't always listen to that because, you know, my mind will kick in, or that's not, you know, say someone's phoning me and I don't want to answer the phone, which generally happens, but then my mind will tell me, oh, well, that's not a very nice thing to do, you know. But my body has gone, you know, like it's interesting to start listening to those body sensations, because everyone's sacral is kind of wired up differently, you know, according if it's conscious, unconscious, red, black, you know, it makes a difference.
Okay. Can I have one more question?
Absolutely.
How do you, okay, so you have your, when you have the knowledge of your open centers, so I'm not sure that I can, I don't know, Jelena, maybe you can put
yes, I will share
chart. Yeah, so, okay, so that's still, okay, so you have, it's pretty similar to mine. So you have your solar plexus open and your ego. So when you live according to your design and your strategy, so the knowledge that you have, your solar plexus is open. How do you deal with that, with situations? Like, how do you know, how do you address that when you come into interactions with somebody else? And I don't know if I'm making any sense. I'm not sure.
I'm making sense. Are you talking about just being with people who have that defined?
Yes, yes, yes.
In our home, my husband and my son, they both have a defined solar plexus. And so I noticed that slows me down when we're making decisions, because we're like a team. I also need to wait for them to wait for clarity. Is that what you mean, or are you talking more about the emotions?
I'm talking more about like when the fact that you know that your emotions are open, right? So are you dealing with somebody, like you're dealing with a difficult situation. So you know now that you're picking their emotions. And you know that since your ego is open, then you know that you're trying to prove yourself. So you start being really busy with this, you know, open centers. And how in that moment you say to yourself or whatever, okay, I'm going back to my strategy and my authority, and, you know, stop like wasting all that energy on those open centers. You know, how do you go back to yourself?
So I would say that's only just happening now. I'm 2.5 years in, and it's only recently where I'm able to observe the emotions going on in that person, and to not feel like they involve me, like that's not my emotion. You know, like we're taught, you know, that you can see that that's not for me, that's not mine. There is someone having their emotions, but it's not my emotion. It's only recently where I'm able to watch. It's easier with my son. I think it's a different dynamic. With my son, it's easier. I hold him when he's having his emotions, the crash in particular. But my husband, it's taken me a while to not get myself involved in his emotional wave, because it feels so uncomfortable. It's so, like, I have noticed I just want to take, you know, like a fire blanket and like smother the emotions, because his is anger, and it, you know, my mind goes to strange places, and it's so uncomfortable that I just wanted to keep that emotional field safe for myself. But now I'm seeing the beauty of what it is for them to have their emotions, to perhaps, if it's an uncomfortable emotion, take it away from me. I either leave, or he knows now to be in his own space and honor his own emotion, his, you know, where he is in his emotional wave, because it's a beautiful thing to have all these emotions. We would be, you know, zombies perhaps, walking around with no emotions. But this is a huge area of impact when you have, you know, the heart and the solar plexus undefined. These are like really uncomfortable areas that we've grown up in and not been respected for either way. We've not honored either way, someone who is undefined or someone who is defined. I think we have a lot of work to do in this area.
I agree. Can I ask something now? Micala, can you explain us what does it mean to respond for us as generators, and how do you vacillating between those, sometimes try to initiate something and manifest something in your life, and at what situations in your life you pull yourself down and to wait to respond? What is it responding in your life? How do you respond to life?
Do you mean to what kind of things? Do you want me to find some practical examples?
Yeah.
So I'll give a practical example of something that I could never have imagined in my mind. My mind could never have got us to this place. So when we had the confinement in Spain where we live, I was, you know, like everyone, I think we watched a bit more Netflix and a bit more YouTube than we would normally. And in my YouTube feed, there were people traveling, you know, to tease us who were in confinement. So there were these people traveling in motorhomes and vans. And it was like, oh, you know, and so before I knew it, I'd responded, I clicked on the video, and there I was, like totally engrossed in this whole life I knew nothing about. And then like watching another one and another one and another one, to the point where we ended up buying our own motorhome. And then we went traveling around Spain and Portugal and France. And my mind would never have imagined that was a possibility. It was my body that took me there by responding. And another practical example would be how human design came into my life in the first place. Because I think we talked about it in the video that we did together. We did. But it was in a down time in my life where things weren't going so well. And it was literally a hashtag that was on someone's Instagram post. It was the hashtag projector life. And I clicked the hashtag. I never click hashtags, but I was like, oh, and I responded, like my body was already clicking, and that opened up the whole world of human design for me. But it can be anything, you know, sometimes it's really, I respond to the sun being out, and I go and sit on a bench outside our house with a coffee and just feel that sun on my face, you know, just enjoying the being. That's another thing. You know, there's so much in life that am I still here?
Yes, you're still here. Yeah.
Sorry. There's so much that we're so lucky as generator types to, when you start noticing everything that is coming our way that we get to yes or no to, you know,
Yeah.
It's incredible. You know, it's an email, it's an invitation, it's a song that comes on the radio. It's, you know, there's so many things that we get to respond to.
Beautiful. Yeah, I agree totally. Can I relate to this question? How do you recognize? You already answered that. I wanted to ask you, how do you recognize in your body that it is time to respond? But you put a beautiful examples of that question. We, during this course and during this bonus class, I want from you to remind all of my students about those undefined centers and all of those, as all of our undefined centers is in somehow spokesperson. So can you remind us through your example, what was your biggest growth in your life? When we talk about your 4 undefined centers?
Because it still goes, right?
Exactly.
It never goes away. It's just you start to see it, you can watch it, but it never goes away. For me, the biggest one was my open heart. That was my biggest, but they all work together. My biggest place of pain was the open heart, where I've done so much personal development, and you know, you're taught that you need to have willpower in order to succeed in life. You need to have this constant willpower. And when I saw that, I said, well, I have no access to willpower remotely. I had spent so much time trying to prove myself in many different ways in life, and looking for approval. You know, this kind of pat on the head, you're doing a good job, like I see what you're doing. It was my biggest learning lesson about worth, self-worth in particular, because there was this, you know, you learn about, you know, you are worthy, and I would go, I have no idea what that means. You are worthy, you are enough. I have no idea what that means. But through human design, through living your design, I was able to see, because it's mechanical, and you can like go, okay, well, I have this open heart center. So, or even if it was undefined, I have nothing to prove. I don't have anything to, and you go, oh, okay, I've got nothing to prove. And from that place, I don't know, I just started thinking about worth and how it's just a man-made concept in any case. Like nature doesn't have a grading system of worthiness, you know? And so I feel like I'm starting to access the wisdom as I decondition from all the trying to prove myself. It's such a relief now to go, nothing to prove. Such a relief. I show up differently in all areas of life. Because I have nothing to prove. Do you want me to go through the others?
Yes, please.
Okay, so the solar plexus we touched on. For me, the emotions were extremely uncomfortable. And I grew up, my parents both have this defined. And and you know, they were young, and it was the 70s, and it was crazy. And so emotions were this scary thing for me. But and me and my daughter, we are both undefined here, and it's us who cry at the movies, you know, because we're picking up the emotions. You know? And when I first learned about it, I learned about we would avoid truth and confrontation, and I was thinking, no, I don't do that. Truth is, I'm here for truth and transformation. I am here for truth. And then I realized all those conversations that I did not want to have, because I did not want to face the truth in that relationship, or I was really nervous about how someone would take my, having a conversation. So I'm noticing it more and more, the ways that I definitely have been hiding away from confrontation. Like, I just want the easy life, like whatever's best for you,
I agree totally. Can we add to your open solar plexus the conversation from a few minutes before, when you said, I don't want to answer on that phone call?
Yes.
I know totally.
Yeah, there's literally someone in my life right now who I really like her. I really like her. And she always wants to have phone conversations, and she's emotionally defined. That's got nothing to do with whether someone would want to phone or not. But I've tried to tell her in a nice way to not hurt her feelings. I don't like talking on the phone, because it takes forever. She talks a lot. And so I've tried to tell her in a really nice way, but it hasn't worked. And so now I'm avoiding. Still up to my old tricks. If we move up to the head center, so that's undefined. And this is, I used to think that these two centers, the head and the ajna, were centers where, that they didn't, they didn't take me off my path so much. That's completely untrue. That undefined head center has me looking out, scanning all the time for who is inspiring, what is inspiring, and thinking about all these things that do not matter. I catch myself every single day looking something up that does not matter. My kids have these defined, and so they'll come and ask me questions, and then I'll find myself trying to be an encyclopedia. And now
really, it function like this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And it can take me so far off my path, deep into frustrated waters, because I've lost my hour by following, something that came in that was never mine to follow up on. I just did it because I wanted to be helpful, or, a good mum, or, a good business person, or, and then the open ajna. I mean, this is just, I have so much grace for myself now, because there is so much I don't remember. I cannot hold information in my head. I cannot hold a concept. I cannot conceptualize anything. I feel so relaxed now around people who have these centers defined, because like Yaska,
and me,
and I go, and you too, and I go, oh, I can relax. I don't have to find. It's just I just find it amazing what you're able to do, and I just get to relax instead of trying to keep up. And even in the smallest details, where I'm having a conversation with somebody and they say, they mention the name of a film, or they'll say, an actor, or this, and I go, I do not know that actor. I do not know that concept, but I'm trying to prove that, I have certainty around what they're talking about. I see myself do it, and now I make myself go back and say, you know what? I don't know that film actor concept. I don't know it. Tell me more about it.
Beautiful, Micala. To admit ourselves that we don't need to pretend to be something different than we are. Beautiful.
That's the beauty of human design. That's the beauty of doing the living your design. It's like finding your role, your unique role that you're here to play, and then you let everybody else get on with being themselves. You don't have to do all the things,
Yeah.
We can relax.
But how can you relax since you are 5'1"? What does it mean, relaxing, in all of those projections around you?
So what I'm learning is boundaries. I think with that 5 comes boundaries, but with boundaries comes facing truth and confrontation, right? Not trying to prove myself by being nice and like being open to everybody's energy. And really feeling into when someone does see me as someone that can help them, you know? And not someone who jumps in without being asked, which I have done a lot in my past. It works really differently when I just respond to either someone asking for help or with a practical solution. Like this conversation, I'm in 5th line heaven with practical solutions because you're asking for them, right?
Yeah.
But with friends and family, it doesn't work so well. But the relaxing, I think also is I have a lot of empowerment in my design. So I do, like, it does feel empowering to me to let someone be themselves. It's how I parent, you know? I really want them to be themselves. And then I can, like, that does feel relaxing to me.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, when we talk about your empowerment, does anyone have a question? Please ask if you would like. When we talk about your empowerment, you are not aware of your empowerment.
No.
And when we talk about your intuition, you are only aware of your intuition through this channel. And this is a very tribal part of you. How do you expect support from your tribe? In which way, since this is a part of you that is conscious? Can you share with us the support that you are needing or expecting from your tribe?
It's such an interesting question, Jelena, because I am only recently letting myself be supported. I had no expectation of it. And I think it's 5th line wounds from being like this lone wolf type personality. I don't see it like that anymore, but in the past, I felt that I would do the supporting. It's natural for me to support. Like here I am with my Jelena tribe. You know, it feels so good to be here cheering you on. I believe in you. You know, I love what you do. That feels completely natural to me. But the kind of leaning back and letting myself be supported is something that is new. It's new. But I do see it, especially in this human design world.
Yeah, and it is said also that people that have this part of themselves defined as you have are really here in some way to help others. Because when you are helping others, all of those blessings are coming from the other side when you are not expecting it at all. This is a beautiful part when I was learning this channel and this energy, and I like it very much.
And I think this channel as well is why it feels so good to when I see people standing in the truth of who they are, like being their unique selves, that feels really good to me. And I think this channel is involved as well. Because it feels like a rising up. Like this is, you know, this channel does want to rise up. And that's what it feels. It feels like a really nice movement when more and more of us are living our design.
True self, right.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And I would like to be interested in this part of role model inside of you. How do you experiencing this part that you are pretty much a lone wolf, as this is individual part of you, and you are here to break all those doors by yourself, not waiting for anybody, and to be example for the others, to be first in the line through your way of motivating others, waking up something in others. How does it showing in your life? Because one is also in your communication. Can you share with us your experience?
See, with my open ajna, I've lost track of your question. I can answer one part and then maybe you can ask it again.
Sorry.
And the other part will come back.
Sorry.
No,
I can start with questions all day. I cannot stop because when I ask one, there is another one and another one.
Pressure, Jelena.
And I go crazy. Totally. Sorry for this.
No. So, because it's only partly conscious, right?
Yeah.
I actually have no idea of what I've said. Like, I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth, and I don't remember what I've said. The part about like kind of going first and empowering others, is that what you said?
Yes.
I stick my tongue out to remember. Yeah, that's a completely, it doesn't actually matter what other people are doing. I have to be, I'm trying to think, because this is the creative role model. And obviously it all works together because I'm single definition, so it's quite hard to pick them out.
Okay. To isolate some part of you. Yeah, I understand totally.
Do you want to ask me another question about it? And I'll
yes. I would like to ask you, do you feel sometimes that you are, because you are so individual in your whole chart, that means that you are not here to holding your back in front of the others. You are here just to be, not to do anything. You are here to bring changes in life. How does it influence in this part of creative model?
I would say, so it also fits in with manifesting generator. Like I've had many different businesses, for example. I've started many different businesses. One was interior design, which is creative, right? One was making like screen printing accessories with organic, fair trade materials. That was also creative. Then I went into textile design. Then I went into coaching. And then now I'm in human design. So that's 5 that I can think of. And it's never been about what anybody else is doing. It was just this need to express myself. And the first businesses were really creative, literally creative. And now it's it shows up differently. But I feel like having your own business is something that's creative. Because you get to create, literally, you get to create these offerings that, you know, perhaps no one's ever done before. And you're not doing it even to be new or to be original. You're it's just this place of being where the thing that how I cannot work is with, so for example, I've also tried network marketing with a beautiful company. Like I completely loved the products, but I couldn't thrive in that business model because there was nothing creative in there, because it's somebody else's products. It's, you know, it's its own business model. And I just kind of drowned in there because I had no more creative access to creativity.
I totally can relate with this, what you say, because I have one, 2 times in my chart, and I totally cannot implement my energy in nothing that in which I cannot be creative. So this design and my YouTube channel and all of those, I don't know, things that I do in a Facebook, it is like from my deep passion inside of me. That is one really I can relate with all of the things that you said. And I can now understand that.
Yes. And before I came on this call, I was talking with Amy, who's also in our training. And I was telling her, have you seen Jelena's YouTube channel? Like, I love, like, obviously I can't understand it, but you can feel the passion emanating from the screen and your beautiful photos and the way you've put it all together. Yes. Like it shines.
Yeah, it's me. This is me. Yes. That is why I really do feel that I cannot work in a corporation when someone tells me this is your format. Lower part and upper part, and you cannot put yourself outside of this box.
No. Yeah, no. I managed 10 years in an international organization, and I left because I was like, crying every night. No, there's no creativity there. Yeah.
But it all comes with a maturing, and as human design said to us, to all of us that we are learning it is a part of us that till 30 years of age we are still childs, and after that all of those deeper insights inside of ourselves bring us to our inner truth, and that is why we are also, and all of my beautiful girls are really like it, and we have a really beautiful classes. This is our last bonus class, and you are like a sugar at the end.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I really would like to thank you for a contribution to this, my first Living Your Design course, and I really do hope that we will continue our journey.
For sure.
And that you will be part of all of next courses that I will deal. Thank you, Micala.
I love that. Oh, thank you, Jelena, for inviting me in. It was an absolute pleasure to talk about all of this with you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I will stay with my girls to say
I'm going to leave
final goodbye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Congratulations, Jelena. Congratulations.